Hi, this is Matthew Weiner, and I am here with
Chellas.
who is wrote the episode. We wrote the episode together. This is The Other Woman. It is episode 11 of season 5, and this episode had particular construction ingenuity, which a lot of which I attribute to Semi, and we'll talk about it when we get to it. But basically, this was about and Phil did an amazing job on it. There's still a lot of great performances and so forth. But basically, where we left Don off was him realizing that his work was important to him, and him sort of being, after getting over the emotional moment of realizing that Megan was not going to be part of this business and that he was not happy to go back to work, of him suddenly having the flame lit under him again to really take it seriously. And so
I remember this set was amazing. The detail of the piggery that was going on here.
The idea that these guys were in this room all this time really, really trying to work on it, and every piece of inspiration that they would use, and how frustrating it was, and what it was like to really, we always try to be honest about the creative process, and that there are all these freelancers and
garbage all over the floor.
So here's the beginning of the story, basically, which is that Peggy is in charge of everything except for Jaguar. And what we wanted to show was that was an exclusive club that you might want to be in, that they were getting a lot of perks, and that even though she had all this responsibility, she was not on that team. Mostly because, and in fact, only because she's a woman. And
that's a Victor Victoria shot.
That's what we said, yeah. She's starving to death, and there they are having lobster for the palm. And so here we meet I love that moment where he just hands the check to them without looking at it. That was in the script and executed very well. But here is the head of the Dealers Association, who at one point had been vomited on by Edwin, who was the brothel participant who lost his job. And then we start talking about Jaguar. They're out there whining and dining him. And it had been explained to us that there was really a triumvirate of important people in the pitch for Jaguar. But that the person from the Dealers Association was the person who had to sell the car. And this guy had dealerships that sold lots of cars, and this was a small foreign car. But we had always wanted to do this story about a client basically demanding time with Joan. And this seemed like the right moment.
It's especially interesting in this context that Joan, we know, has finally stood up to Greg, and he's filed for divorce, and yet nobody knows that except for Dawn.
Right, and so remember, it was important that we say that they have to think that she's married, or this really isn't right. And I love the idea that Ken, as usual, expresses some sense of virtue, and Pete, we don't know how he feels about it, but he knows what it is. He's a lifelong account man at this point.
Ken was right in there to say she was married, and Pete wouldn't let him.
And I love the way this is all insinuated. It's really not even said in that graphic a way.
Was that what I think it was?
He's kind of shy. I love that. They had to arrange it.
She was married. Because so is he. And he already knows that.
Well, we wanted to be in the car business.
And no offense to those in the car business, but this is what we've heard. So we found the right play for Megan to be up with. She's starting to take her acting very seriously. She happens to be in a really cute nightgown. That's not her fault. And Dawn's frustrated with work, and she is really into what we found out was something that was casting at that moment, which was Jules Pfeiffer's Little Murders, and it had a part for a really, really good-looking woman.
And it had this amazing resonance with the whole season 5, I think, because it was about the incredible violence that was erupting in the city and people's fear of that.
Right, exactly. That sort of subconscious threat that was, eventually going to be bigger. And I love the fact that she says, "Do you really want to talk to me, or do you just want to yell at me?" And there's a great thing about the relationship here, because he's pitching this incredibly sexist strategy, and she calls him on it, and he is completely defensive.
And you see how much he misses her working with her, and he's really trying to get her to jump in here, but she's just not there anymore.
So much of this episode is, and I think really nicely done, this expression of what is female independence. And
Oh, I remember the script too, that the props department found an actual script that was marked up.
It was amazing, yeah.
From
the
the
stage
play.
manager, yeah, with all these phone numbers written in it. And
I got some bad news.
so here is really what I think is like the shining moment of what we can do on this show. Pete comes in before work. There's so many elements that are at work here. It's not just this incredible set and that curtain being pulled across. It's not just that it's before work and it's expressed with the doors closed and you slowly hear the office. The sound design's incredible. You slowly hear the office coming to life. It's the way that Pete sort of insinuates this suggestion in such a deft way, and it's all done with like, this would be a horrible thing to say. And the real twist, you remember when we were writing it, was like,
that Joan calls him on it.
Yeah, that we were like...
She's not fooled for a second.
Yeah, and not only that, and she's not shocked. We're like, no, I love when she says, how did that come up? Because it's like, it's got to have been asked it a billion times.
How did that come up?
Right there. It's like... And his logic, and, we've talked about him, he always has a lighter on him. He's an account man. He's going to be as gentlemanly as possible, and coming in with this idea, we lost the account. There's nothing we can do. What they want us to do is insane.
And she's blocking him at every turn until she says that whatever her price is, he can't afford it.
And we all know, and hopefully if you don't know, you know now, that when someone says you can't afford it, they're in a negotiation. When someone says no, it's a very different thing.
And when Pete is about to get up and turn away and smile, and he knows that now he's in a negotiation with her, that was a very specific thing in the script, how he would turn and the little smile would creep on his face.
Yeah, see, and he apologizes right afterwards. It's all... This logic, too, is kind of...
I'm talking about business at a very high level.
I don't find this logic so disgusting. I actually think that he may be bad at it and talking about Cleopatra and everything, but he's right. People do this kind of stuff for nothing, and he had to ask. Well, he doesn't want to lose it. He's worked this hard to get this far. But there's that
smile.
A smile of like, you can't afford it means that
This was an act of desperation.
maybe there's a way.
I haven't insulted you. That's all that matters.
Of course, it was a horrifying thing to ask her. And as we find out later on, the fact that everyone knows that he asked is even more of an offense. And by the way, this is just a coincidence that Harry happens to have a painting of Paris behind him.
That's right.
I didn't realize it till afterwards. But the purpose of the scene, you want to talk about what this was about?
Well, they've done this ad that was based on Hard Day's Night that Ginsberg pitched and was the lead on, but he's busy on Jaguar. So now Peggy leaps in with her extempore repitch of it in Paris, which it does look like in the scene that she's getting it from the painting. Although that was a coincidence. And it's a big save for her, and Ken's going to applaud her, and she's feeling really good about that because we know Peggy has never been on a plane, and she's thinking that she's going to get to go to Paris.
Yeah, and I also love, she did this thing of talking to herself. There's a lot of gestures in here about spontaneous creativity, like this moment right here, where you believe that she could come up with this at that moment. And she's so eloquent about it because she has great writers. But I always want to believe that it can happen right in front of us like this because it does once in a while. I know it does on TV all the time, but...
I was going to say this is an exception because usually your rule is that they don't just come up with this stuff. It takes a lot of work and a lot of sweat, but once in a while you have a great idea right in the moment.
Yeah. And also I feel like we see her discovering it. So it's a great idea, but it's a very simple idea. So it's not completely preposterous. And of course, Harry has moved all of his stuff into Pete's office, as we know earlier on. He's got the column, but...
Now, of course, when she goes in to tell Dawn about the idea, it's going to turn out that after that call, they took everything out of her idea. They're just doing the exact same ad, but in Paris.
And the other thing about that, too, is the introduction of the speakerphone. We used to just use the mother-in-law, which is that little handle, but they were using them all the time. So here's Pete conducting business, and the partners having this meeting.
This is one of those wonderful Mad Men scenes that I always saw as a fan and loved, where everyone in the room had something different going on. Pete is talking about this negotiation. Dawn is outraged by it, but probably also at some level he's saying my creative can win it.
I always thought that was about his ego. And Roger has been paying for the entire agency
and was in love with Joan, or
and
is
was in love with Joan
Joan.
and can't believe that she's even thinking about it.
And there's Lane, who has his own feelings for Joan.
And also, more importantly, is terrified about them having to spend any cash because they don't have any. They've already taken out the credit line so that he could have his $8,000.
And then there's Cooper, and you
And
sort
Don-
of don't know where Cooper's going to land on this issue, and then it turns out he's like, it's up to her. Tell her she can still say no.
Right.
That's right. And you should be thanking me because
And here's Pete saying, like, this is business. And then there's this moment here where he says, she said we couldn't afford it. We couldn't afford it. And they all knew that meant that she would do it. We can win it without this.
one guy. How does everyone else feel? I'd love to approach her with, say, a 10% finder's fee.
I love this idea that
Lane is sweating bullets.
Right.
Get in the way, but I'm not paying for it.
Yeah, and I think people wondered why Roger went along with it. Like, how could he do that? But I do feel like he was wounded that she was thinking about it.
Say we take our bonuses and move on. The car, you cannot put a dollar figure on
This
its
statement, the significance of the car, that was something reiterated to us by everyone who's ever come near advertising. They're like, I don't care how small a car it is, it changes the agency. It's a sector they're not in. And I'm always worried about people understanding exactly what Lane did and the Christmas bonuses and everything, but I think at a certain point, there's a shorthand that you know that anytime that money is asked for, that Lane's going to be worried about
And
it.
we saw him extend the company's credit without anyone knowing
Right.
except for him.
And the idea that Pete calls for a vote, that he still thinks this is an executive decision. To me, this is, I don't want to exaggerate it, but it is how immoral things happen in groups. It's a bunch of people sort of being complicit with the way the rules are. And, it's a shocking thing to me.
Well, there's that moment that we just saw where Lane stands like he might hit Pete or do something, and there's later a moment where Dawn does that too, but no one actually stops it.
Right. And I love that Don is repulsed by this idea.
Enough to throw out the entire creative that they've been working on about
Right.
the mistress strategy.
Yeah.
Those are some people's butts on the wall there
Yeah,
that were
they were
photocopied.
Xeroxed in there. It says some of the cast and crew. I asked someone when we first got that Xerox machine, I'm like, at what point did they start Xeroxing their butts? And somebody told me literally the day they got it. So here is a big moment in the episode. Don's in a bad mood. He's disgusted with this, and Peggy comes in and asks to go to Paris. And
I love the way that she says Paris. You feel her
Yeah.
desire for that.
And I know you were on set, but I certainly saw the dailies. He didn't really hit her in the face with the money every time. But
Only one time.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because when we were trying it in the room, you hit me the first time with the money.
Just make it clear that I was acting out the scene.
Yes,
This was
we were
not
all
this is-
throwing money at each other, and Matt was particularly gifted it.
And this is important to me too. This sort of match cut from Don in this posture to Peggy, and Ken and Peggy have this pact, and
I'm not crying.
I love.
There's a thread in this episode of Peggy trying to become what Dawn is, to do what Dawn
Right.
would do in this situation.
And I also love her sort of like being beyond
If I don't,
emotions on this.
You and your stupid pact.
This is one of the meanest things you could say.
Save the fiction for your stories.
And I think that we all care about each other's lives. To me, is always like that's sort of the premise of the show, is that we really don't involve each other that much.
What can I do for you?
I love this scene
Yeah, this is a very interesting scene because,
because this is life or death for Lane.
and it comes out as such a nice thing that he's doing for her, and it's completely selfish, and at the same time he reveals what we're going to find out in the next episode. He reveals this incredible like anger he has at even being in this situation. He's like trying to set himself free and do it right the second time. And remember this too, I love this idea that
Now get out.
this is the shame to her, is that they had this conversation. Like, it was one thing to be asked, it's another thing that now everybody's talking about it.
$50,000. There needs to be a discussion.
And now this is the first time she's heard of a figure,
Yeah.
$50,000, and
I don't want them to know.
And
I
he
think
knows
she's great in this moment. You
Yeah.
can see her starting to wobble or starting to hear it.
Right.
she's still in that position of outrage, but
Right.
it's eating at her.
He knew that. He knew that when they said $50,000 to her that she would do it. And he doesn't have the money. So he doesn't say don't do it. He just says don't take it out of cash.
It is a lot of money, Lane. It's 4 times what I make in a year. I suppose you wouldn't even be tempted.
It's so fascinating.
The irony that she doesn't know that he was tempted for a tiny amount.
I know.
My entire life. Every time someone's asked me what I
The conversation's going on in about 9 levels, and that's why I think that, and I that's why I think that this scene is so powerful. But I also feel like there's a fantasy element to being offered money for your physical existence. It's the indecent proposal or whatever, and we really tried to deflate that, but I'm sorry,
It was interesting in the writer's room that we were all having the conversation about how much, what's the number, how high is it? We were all in the negotiation, though.
Right, and of course what people are saying is very different than what might really happen. I mean, and what you need and what would count. And then this irony here of her saying, like, I thought you were trying to stop this because you had feelings for me. And he plays this and like all over the place here in a great way. He's a very powerful actor, and I know it was scripted that we got this shot of him closing the door out here, but I don't remember writing that he wiped his mouth. And it just said everything to me. It just said his guilt and disgust. And here's an extra scene that costs a lot of money to shoot that I was informed of by the writer's room. I don't know if it was your idea or where it came up with, but it was shown to me as not only the irony of the fact that here he is at home with this little girl, but that has no problem with this. He's a father.
And his wife looking in on him the way Betty looked in on Don once. We see they're living in the country now,
and what evil he's got in the city. So here's Megan with her friend, and they're working late at night, and we love the idea of Don sort of being surprised in the midst of his obsession. I love her slogan. And of course, Julia.
Be careful what you say. We're best friends.
Now, this basically was again, talking about independence. So here she is, about to do something that always makes him jealous, even though she says that the guy is gay and it doesn't a big deal, but that she derives some kind of confidence from her sexual attractiveness to him. It was just such a great thing to me. And of course, its other purpose, which was to, in some way, give Ginsberg the idea of how they would crack that story, which is when he says she comes and goes as she pleases, he's not disgusted with her. He's making an observation about the fact that Megan has the power.
Absolutely. He's realizing that she has that power over Dawn because she can come in and make a joke tagline when she's asked for help, and she can go off to somewhere while he's working wearing a sexy dress.
He knows
there's
they're in there having sex.
Ginsberg is there at the window having the moment that Peggy had earlier of creating and trying to crack it.
And of course, this is a deliberate objectification of this woman because that's where this pitch lives. It's an object. The car is an object that is immediately compared to a woman, and they can't separate them. And here is the sexuality being the most powerful thing that these women have. And of course, Trudy coming in, and I think with a come hither look.
And this is this wonderful moment too, where she starts talking about having a mistress, and Pete thinks for a second that he's going to be completely busted, and then it turns out she's talking about the entire city of Manhattan.
When he says this line, it's an epic poem for me to get home.
And you're dressed for bed at dinner.
Peter, let's stop playing games.
And then we find out why she's dressed for bed.
I'm tired of competing. Your love affair with Manhattan is over.
Well, how can you stand living out here in this cemetery? There's nothing to do. There's no good night noises anywhere.
I love that line. It's been reading Goodnight Moon probably 60 times a night for the last year.
I'm using all my
Alison Brie, can come in for 8 seconds and create history between these two. And Vincent obviously spectacular in this episode, but there's just, We don't get Allison all the time because of Community, and we will accommodate her always because it's an explosion of depth.
I love this scene. Has so much packed into it. The mother who still hasn't left, even though she just came for the for the baby. The refrigerator repairman who won't come anymore because of something that's gone on with
Her and
Joan's
the mother.
mother.
Yeah. And of course, the scene really about why would Joan do it, and her mother basically reminding her the fact that she has nothing because she has that horrible husband. And I love the way the mother says this. I mean, this dialogue feels very real to me. I know this person. I love the way she just says it. I hate him, and we all wish he was dead. And
I love that there's a smell in this scene of the refrigerator that's been cleaned out, which you only see once, and it doesn't get mentioned. But to me, the whole scene has that smell.
And I also like that her mother is going to take care of her. Let's get drunk. That's what you need. I always felt the mother was drunk when she came in. But now we wonder what Joan's going to do.
That her mother was just in.
Yeah.
It's like she's a vision of her future if she doesn't do this.
So here's the issue of independence.
That's fantastic.
And it's said in an incredible way here by Megan, where she just basically says, you thought I was going to fail. That's what it was about. You don't really want me to get a job.
It's so interesting to me in this scene how Megan looks like she's from a different era. She comes
does.
in, she's wearing jeans and a sweater. She looks
know.
really cute. Don's in his tie.
He's using a shoehorn. Remember, you still can and should use them, but that's definitely part of another era.
What do you think this is?
I love that Don is so upset he has to put that orange juice down.
I remember that was at a specific point during the script, and we kept doing it to get it right.
Yeah, I wanted him to like give her his full focus of like, you're not my home. You're not fine. I don't need your homemaking.
Just keep doing whatever the hell you want.
Which is what he just said is essentially what Ginsburg is going to pitch back to him.
Right. So here we have it. I mean, early in the season, when we decided we were going to do this story, I had this scene. I came in and dictated, I remember one day. I might have even been before we started writing, because I loved the idea that Pete was going to actually have a business conversation with her about it.
I remember it was the first week that I had started working there. We just started the season, and you came in and you performed this whole scene and almost exactly how it ended up in the show.
Well, what I loved about it is, to me, it was expressing how this could be treated like a business and how far Pete had come. And I love that she starts to negotiate with him and he just gives in. Of course he would. He'll take anything. And his, his ham-fistedness with this, how to make it happen, her saying, do I have to do it myself? And
well, and then the note at the end when they actually talk about, she doesn't even know which of the three guys from Jaguar it is that's made this, that she's making this deal with.
Right.
And they have a very sort of almost tender moment right here at the door after she
When she says,
gives him this contemptuous look.
She basically wants to know what he looks like.
Yeah. Which, again, came up when we were discussing, would you do it, how much, and who would it have to be?
Yeah, if John Hamm was the head of the Dealers Association, would it change things? And, if Robert Redford was offering $1 million, it kind of does. But everyone sort of got very moral about it, and then we disintegrated into the reality that is the show. And this is an earned moment over a season to me that I love, which is that Don is so frustrated, and we keep talking about coming up with the idea, and he's looking at an Encyclopedia Britannica and a book about Queen Elizabeth, and Ginsburg has finally learned how to present this idea to him. And when Don smiles and Ginsburg claps at the end of this, I actually have the pleasure of that aha. I don't know how it was conveyed. It's a great performance from Ben,
and it's also Ginsburg is breaking the rules. John told them they were moving on from this idea. And it's this moment where Ginsburg is doing the thing that usually irritates Don, and he's taking a risk, but it actually works.
And frankly,
Right.
not practical.
I've always been fine with all that. But what's the line?
And by the way, coming up with this line was really, really hard.
Our room looked like the room that they're working in.
Yeah, and I thought I had cracked it. And Vic and Josh, who worked in advertising, really had a problem with one particular issue of it, which was truly. They wanted me to add the car you could truly own, because I liked at last something beautiful you can own.
They kept saying that rich people do own beautiful things.
Yes, and you're not offering anything. And I don't understand advertising well enough. I am an amateur, but I went with it because I saw that when I put the word truly in it, they both literally relaxed, as if everyone, they were literally, it's like everyone in advertising who watched this was going to scream bullshit. And I'm glad that it worked just as well for me. I just didn't understand why it mattered. And, Joel Murray just comes in and, like, hits it out of the park, and they have all this history, and I love the way he sort of eats his way through this scene.
I was going to say he's eating Melba toast with cottage cheese, which was very specific that's what he's eating. And it was making this crazy noise on the soundtrack. And I kept saying, are you sure he should be chewing while he's doing his lines? And then it works so perfectly.
Well, I love the fact that he is both looking out for himself, like, I'm going to go and ask him for a job, and really saying to her exactly what he knows, which is like, you were a secretary, and Dawn knows that.
Or you could buy a friend a piece of pie.
And she actually repeats to Dawn at the end of it, you do the same thing, I think, doesn't she?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't complain if I gave Draper a call on my own behalf.
What if Dawn finds out you helped me?
Don's a big boy.
Dawn is not a big boy.
Subject of it, he'd tell you to leave in a second.
And I love that after all of his diet, he's going to have a pie.
And you can see Peggy really hearing that and realizing that that's a real possibility. I don't think she ever thought that she would actually leave. She thought of it as a strategy, scare Dawn, manipulate him. And there, at the end, she's thinking, oh, would I actually walk away?
I just watched this scene in dailies, or the director's cut of it, and remember saying, like, how did Pete become in charge of the agency? Dawn let him when he was not paying attention. And there's this moment where Dawn walks up, like you're going to say, like he's going to punch him, and he doesn't. And you're like, Pete has laid down the law and told him how it's going to be, and there's nothing he can do.
A 5% stake as a voting partner.
And the fact that it was her idea, as far as Pete knows, it was. I know it's seen as disgusting or something when he says that, but he doesn't know Lane gave her the idea.
Absolutely. She walked in and offered the terms.
Should be well rested.
Before he'd even gotten a chance to mention the money to her.
It was her idea.
Of course, there's a double entendre there that is disgusting, which is it was not her idea. Pete broached it with her. Now, this is the part that I'm going to talk for Semi here, because we had a horrible problem with this story, which is that I wanted Dawn to have the best pitch ever on this Jaguar account and it to be sullied. And they realized very quickly in the room that it was impossible for Joan had to sleep with this guy before the pitch, and once we saw that she did that, it would be impossible for us to listen to a word Dawn said. And Semi came up with this flashback structure, which we really hit home by adding the hat and the robe and the necklace and the repeated dialogue and everything. And I was actually on the fence about whether it would work in a weird way, and remember pitching it, ironically, to my son, Martin, who plays Glenn, who's smart and seen a bunch of the show now at 16 years old, and saying, do you understand that? Because the writer's room told me everyone would understand it, and I was really terrified that it wouldn't work for some reason or other, or that it couldn't be executed, which, to me, it was a great kind of, like, reveal. And it also, the intercutting, and Tom Wilson just did a spectacular job, because it wasn't really scripted to break in the places that it breaks, and he figured that out. And, David's got this cue here, and Phil did this amazing job of them walking through the room with confidence. But the intercutting of the two scenes gave so much meaning to that Jaguar pitch that I didn't even know was there. I didn't really realize how that idea of, like, Herb Rennet demanding her attention, bargaining for it so that he could have her, was so related to Dawn getting that car.
It's best when that stuff happens unconsciously. I mean, when you watch this episode, it seems like we were playing on this theme and really trying to make all the stories work together in that way, but it really happened unconsciously in the room that they all started to come together.
Yeah, and I didn't know that even until we were at the table read, and Lord knows we drafted the hell out of this thing. It was written and rewritten quite a bit, the way all the scripts are. I did not understand, other than subconsciously, that Peggy's story was so closely related to it. And of course then, really, really clear things like Megan being scrutinized for her audition, which is originally actually in this intercutting section, and we realized, like, we should just make these two things.
Radiant, Joan. May I call you Joan? I'm Herb, by the way.
Well, I should hope so.
And her arrival, the fur coat she's wearing, which is the one Roger gave her.
Longing for this other
And
thing.
I feel like she's doing such an amazing job of, you feel the vulnerability in her, and yet she's still answering back to him. I should
Right.
hope so. And she's still got her dignity.
And of course, not an accident that we are playing on some level on the romance of this indecent proposal. Like, it's a fantasy, even with that man not being John Hamm. I mean, he's giving her an emerald necklace. He is, like he says, he is the Sultan of Araby. He is a man who has done everything he can to spend one night with her.
And then it's still just disgusting to her
Well,
in the end.
well, when he says, "Let me see him," he kind of deflates the entire fantasy. Christina has this fantastic mix of strength, disgust.
No longer I can restrain myself.
It's just
Let me see him.
anxiety of being with a stranger. Her taking control of the situation. I love that she is opening her dress. She takes that swig of champagne. She is in control of the situation. And then you see the resignation here of like, well, this is going to happen. All I have to do is do this.
I feel like watching it too. I watched it with people in my living room when it was on, and people still thought maybe she wouldn't go through with it at that point.
Right.
It's interesting that there's not really.
That's a wish.
You think she won't go through with it. You think Peggy might not go through with it in this
Right.
episode. Everyone goes through with it. They
Well,
do
shows
exactly
don't
what
commit
they
to this
say.
either, because also one of the great things we can do in this show is because we are honest to their histories, we can have them make these life-changing decisions because we are committed to having the show change with their lives, which is, honestly, I thank AMC and Lionsgate for letting us do that. But here, the music is really doing it, and Jonathan Igla actually had this pitch about the kid seeing the car go by, which I loved because I was like, what is it about it? Why? Because I love this car. I got it. And then there's this line, which I think was Josh's, if they weren't so out of our control, whatever, that Josh Weltman's, which really turned out thematically summed up. We worked backwards to
And those
make
are
it a comedy.
Josh's drawings too
Oh,
on the
yeah,
boards
they're
there. And
great.
They're amazing. They look shiny. You can see them coming right off the boards.
And they're totally period too. He's like, this is what they would do. They would show people because he always researches it, and then he physically executed the drawings, and they're really beautiful. They have they seem like they're wet, and they're basically pencil, aren't they?
Yeah, they're pencil and paper. This moment that's repeated twice, Christina's it's such a difficult thing to play that she's saying to Don, thank you for saying this. And we know that it's already happened.
Right. And it is a different take, even though it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
This is the same. But the necklace, putting on the robe, the whole thing, he's just too late. Her holding Don's hat, all of it to tie it in, because I have this anxiety that maybe somehow people will be confused I don't mind them being confused for a few, for a minute, but I don't want them to be confused when it ends. And here we are after the pitch. Don is excited. He doesn't know anything. And Roger does, and this is great, the way his look here. Look at that.
Have a drink?
Maybe later.
Don's not sure why she's not in a celebratory mood.
But he's really proud of himself. And this little piece here, Tom did a great job of really, and Phil and everybody involved in it, but this was an editorial challenge to me because we were short on time, and I wanted to make sure that we heard her lie about where she was from, and honestly, this is, I've been the man on the couch. This is sort of what is required in an audition, and this was more about business than anything else, just sort of explaining, like, this is this woman's value.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be this shocking thing that happened
Right.
to an audition. It's what an audition can be.
Yeah.
Cha.
Janie did an amazing job here of making Lizzie look so beautiful and powerful. I love the scarf. And
Up until this point in the episode, she's dressed in a very childlike way with the little collars and the little
Right.
pinafores, and here she just looks sophisticated and
there's great sound in here too. And Alex Pitsavas provided us with a music cue here that it has a lot more words than I usually like in a scene like this, but it sort of made it feel like a crappier place than it was in a weird way. And I also love this, all the sexism is there. You're going to get married,
Even
you're just
says,
interested
"Did
in
you want
money.
a baby? Are you going to go off and have a baby?"
Yeah.
Which
But what was important to me in this, and we talked about, is when he I love when she does this because she's so obviously lying. Look at this. From school? Yeah, I know everything about him. Anybody been on a job interview where they've been asked a question that they have to lie about? But I love that he... What I think is that we get that he has a philosophy, and we also honestly believe that these are the qualities you would get if you looked at Peggy's book.
And it's a different side of Chaw than we've seen. It's
Right.
sort of, you see, oh, actually, maybe he's sort of a passionate guy. Maybe he would be someone inspiring to Peggy if she
Right.
goes and works there.
And then this, of course, Freddy did tell her to do this. You hear that little bluesy organ riff in there. It's
And we figured this is her already doubling her salary.
Right.
So she writes down twice what she's making right now, and then he
tops it.
tops it.
You know how much you'll do it for.
I also love the fact that for the audience, this is a surprise that this is the meeting that she has after all that conversation with Freddy.
He's
And
crossed
Clara
out Sterling
Sill.
Cooper Draper Price. Yeah.
And I love the idea that Clearasil is one of the accounts. We saw her, other than the relaxicizer. She really, that was her real account.
I think I need a chocolate shake.
I don't know if that's something that Semi always said or
Always,
something.
yeah.
I think that was me saying that for Semi.
Yeah, I always say that, but then you were like, maybe Peggy says it in this moment.
Right. So this was interesting to me too because Don thinks he's won. Megan is home. Now, Megan sort of ran away. We did have a piece in there at some point or two that she actually was staying at her friend's house. And I think maybe she was, but it doesn't really matter. All we know is that they were in a fight. And I love that she asserts the fact that she is going to succeed. And to me, it's very married people conversation when he starts to get into why he was right. And she says, we're done.
Well, I think she comes off as very mature here, which I think is interesting in contrast to how much younger she seems earlier in the episode.
That's true.
She seems like she knows how to put this behind them, say what she needs to say, and then kiss him. And it makes me feel like they have a real marriage,
Right.
a good marriage.
But what I was saying is when he starts trying to say to her, like, you shouldn't have run away, you shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that, and she's just like, we're done.
Yeah.
Shh, shh. It's okay now.
Right.
And he knows enough to not do anything. This scene was not that hard to write, but really, really hard to pull off. And I am kind of blown away by, like, the different angles and pieces and the way that Phil decided that. I mean, he was always running in and with the news, and Peggy was always about to see him, and then Roger comes out. But Phil and Chris Manley together had a great sort of shot design here between that shot of Caroline and Peggy going back in, and every moment is covered here, right up to what I think is the most powerful thing about the episode, which is when Joan walks in.
Because Roger says, I want all the partners there. We know Ken has been dispatched because he's not a
Right.
partner. And now Pete ushers in Joan, and Don realizes.
And by the way, if you're wondering why Roger gets the phone call, he is the president of the agency.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. We like him too. Well, that is terrific news.
Bravo!
Spectacular.
So Don knows that Joan did this, and he is absorbing it. And John Hamm does about 8 billion things here at once that he is happy that they got it, and it's bittersweet. He is putting it together. He realizes he was too late.
I promise you they're opening it right.
He doesn't want to not celebrate.
And he keeps looking at her as if to confirm that it's really happening. He's not even following what Pete was just saying.
And she has this great look, which is so what, I think, in a weird way.
Yeah.
And
now
Lane. Oh my God.
Lane now is facing the abyss.
Yeah.
The bonuses are gone, so there's no way to cover
I love
that
her
check
walking
that
the
he wrote.
gauntlet and saying, like, you would have done the same thing. Great sound in here. Though this was really tough to like convey the noises inside that room and outside that room, and to get the celebration across. And this is a very meaningful moment for me when Don says, "I want to talk to you," and of course, Peggy doesn't know why he's upset, but I love this right
I
here.
love that.
It's a summation of their entire relationship.
And I feel like that's something that you're so good at, is setting up the incredible intimacy they have just the moment before she's going to break it.
Well,
you almost
look at that
forget
wall-
when you're writing a script. We all know John and Peggy are very close or whatever, but you have to have that moment where you feel it right before you break it.
They walk into the office with her closing her eyes, and I think it was Maria who kept saying, like, Peggy has to say thank you, and then it has to be rehearsed. She has to have been working on it. And we talked to Lizzie about this, like, don't forget that you were doing this at home. This can sound kind of rote, but you know, when she says my champion, and oh yeah, Joan
The
has to
moment
say-
where she
it was like,
I mean, I think she might still be on the fence. She has her
Right.
speech that she's going over in her mind, but then
Joan's a partner.
Joan got made partner. She has no idea what the context is. She's got a slug of whiskey, and now she's going to do her little prepared speech.
the dress is great. She dries her hands. But here she is. She's pitching. This is the Heinz posture, you know, from the beginning of the season.
Don knows when he's being pitched.
Right. And he climbs a ladder, a mentor and champion. Is that what she says? It's so beautiful. It's like she. And I literally think of like a medieval knight when she says champion. You know what I mean? And I love this. I love this. And he goes so many places in this scene, and her too. And
You know,
the kissing the hand thing was something that I pitched during the something. I think it was just Jonathan and I alone in it. I'm not saying this to like talk about the
No.
credit part of it. I'm trying to talk about the fact that Jonathan's eyes welled up when I said it, and I was like, "Oh, I think that's the right thing to do." You know.
I mean, and when we were shooting this scene, you know, you shoot however many
wasn't there.
angles and
I
however
was
many
dying to
takes.
know
was
how it went.
over and over and over, and every single time, my eyes welled up. Like the performances were so heartbreaking. It really was amazing to watch. And then in the final
Look at
shot,
him
when
realizing,
she walks out in the elevator,
Yeah.
I was sitting there watching, and you know, it was late, and we were almost done. And it was just like the last shot, and I looked, and John Hamm was sitting there, and he had stayed even though he was wrapped because he wanted to see that moment. And it was like the real
know.
version of this relationship.
Yeah. Oh, please. These people, this is, you know, I can't even think of the comparisons to make, but they are in these scenes. They don't talk in between them. They don't talk before them. And I love how I mean, it's really like, I guess, the stages of dying or something. It's like anger, bargaining, depression. But they're not in that order. And I love how strong she is. And then he starts getting angry.
I know he goes through all the colors of a possible reaction here.
When she says chaw,
Don't
he's
need to
like,
wait until the third. I've got a room full of freelancers out there.
I'll get by.
I'll get by.
I saw the director's cut of this and was so blown away by the episode and forgot this scene was in it. And then I was like, oh my God, this is going to happen. Sorry, I talked over that. But that's, you know, I always, it's very hard for actors to cry. You don't write that they cry. And usually with Lizzie, it's not hard at all. Christina, you know, they happen to be actors who are gifted at it. I am usually telling them not to. And I think Lizzie's always fighting it, and that's what really, really gets you. Because I think Peggy's always fighting it. We had it in the episode. Look at it. It's incredible. We had it as a story, you know, in the second episode that those tears were an admission of failure. And you know, this is something that's pure cinema to me. Her grabbing her things, but we get to make a big deal out of it.
And it's one of those amazing moments where
you don't need
where
it.
the chemistry of this episode worked, where like, you know, we knew really early on that they were going to finally sign Jaguar, and to take the celebration and make it into a moment where you're devastated, and that the celebration is all going on in the background, even though you could say that the whole season they've been driving towards that win.
And originally, Peggy looked back at her and they missed each other. But it was just the idea that Joan was in there in her posture and saw Peggy leaving and that she has no idea. And of course, this was always where we wanted to end. We didn't have the song when we were writing it, but even from the room, we always knew that she would get in that elevator and smile, because that was hard to do. And she is better off, and she wouldn't have gone through it if she didn't want to do it. Here's
she's
the rest.
making twice the money plus
Yeah.
another grand.
And here's the rest of your life. And the Kinks, the song is so famous. I was hesitant to use it, but it's right then, and it's really about the whole episode. It's this, this
it
sexual
celebrates
power.
all
Yeah.
the storylines
Yeah.
in the episode.
Well, he did a spectacular job, and you watch these names in here and realize that, all the casting, everything, it's just, this was sort of the climax of the season in a strange way. Even though 12 is so devastating, we knew that this was the realization of a lot of people. It was the transformation of the firm, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm. And it was the end game of the whole Heinz thing and
Right.
of the Jaguar thing that came and went.
And the irony of success, which is what we were talking about from the very beginning of what is the conflict in success? Well, there's plenty.
And the every man for himself
Right.
sort of theme that runs through.
Right. Every woman for themselves.
Yeah.